Hello everyone, everybody, anybody. This is me again, Honky Star Railer. Honky Star Railer. Remember that? That's my name. That's my name, man. Um, why did I choose this name? Do you want to know? Actually, I don't. I just made this account a couple days back, and I said, you know what? I'm playing Honkai Star Rail, and whoever plays Honkai Star Rail is a Honkai Star Railer. Okay, and that's it. Instead of saying Honkai, I am saying Honky. To be honest, why I'm saying Honky because of um that uh YouTuber that also does Honkai Star Rail. Oh my God, I forgot his name, but I know him. Everybody knows him. The one that has this sort of beef with somebody right now. He's friend with Tectone. Oh my God, what's his name? He's Chinese, okay? Uzi. My God, I forgot the name. That's bad, man. Um. Well, I think he recently got into a controversy. I don't know why, to be honest. Um. I saw him with Tectone a couple times. I kind of like Tectone, to be honest. I I started watching Tecton when he was playing Genshin a couple years ago. He was still playing Genshin. Well, anyway, enough of this. We will go into all of this in the future when I get famous and rich, and we get haters, and haters gonna say mean stuff about me. They will say, "Oh my God, this guy sucks," and I'll say, "Yes, I do." That's what my mom made me, a piece of shit. My God. Um, Drama. I love drama, man. Please get me into some drama. I love it. I follow drama every day. Did you hear about this clan clash thing? iDubbbz, Ethan Klein. Man, I love all that. I eat that thing for breakfast. I love it. We will go there eventually. Mark my words, man. We are a small channel, but we will go there. Okay, so um, this is another long ass video. So I just wanted to try Anexa. I just wanted to try this guy, and this is what we are going to do in the video. So I'm actually doing the intro right now because the actual video, I know what's gonna happen, but so in this part I briefly talk about his options, and we are checking his banner. So this banner is not as friendly because it has one of the best, I guess, free to play partners, allies that you want, because Anexa needs another erudition character to dish a lot of damage, but I guess that he also needs a debuffer, and you don't have a debuffer here. Serval does give a debuff, which is shock, so I think it is, you can list that as a debuff. Okay, so I guess that, yeah, I mean, not that bad, but you need to get lucky to get Serval, man. I mean, it's not like you're saying, okay, we got this banner. In actual 4-star is hard to get. I remember when Linx got out, and I had Blade, and I had to make my Blade work because Blade was sucking so much. It was so fucking bad that you need everything. You need every little squeezed droplet of anything that you can find, so to make Blade work. So when Linx was released, and Linx was like, oh my God, this is the answer to all of my Blade's problems. So I can cure my Blade illness just by injecting with myself with Linx. So I needed her so bad, and I said, okay, I'm gonna pull, and I didn't get a single one, man. I think I only got one, and I need a E3 Linx at least to make my beautiful Blade work. and just like Mose, man, you just like I was pulling for Fei Shao, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get Fei Shao, and then I'm gonna get Mose, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. Sometimes it just doesn't happen, and plus there are 4-star in here. I mean, it's not like you're bound to get her. That's not how it works, man. So you know, and if you really do not care about Mose and Den Hong, man, I guess it's a pretty hard choice. But you know what? On the on the other hand, is there any time that you need more than 2 units in a banner? I mean, it doesn't really happen. I mean, you are lucky that they include a useful 4-star unit on the promotional banner, on the promotional 5-star. I mean, and to be honest, if you want Doctor Ratio, I guess you're pretty fucked because I mean the only one that can actually work with Doctor Ratio is Mose, because it inflicts this. He's a follow-up attacker, but I mean Doctor Ratio is such a low level. Sorry, don't kill me, man, but I think the Doctor Ratio just the multipliers on this guy are just gone. He cannot keep up. Um, so we'll try Anexa, and actually, at least we got Serval. Okay, so you're good on that front. Hopefully, if you're new, you get Pella. You know, just for some variety. Pella is a defense raider. She could work with Serval and Pella. Anexa could work with Serval and Pella. Okay. On the other hand, if you're going for Doctor Ratio, I guess Doctor Ratio can work with Mose. Actually, I think that Mose does give a debuff. There's the debuff that the Mose gives, because Doctor Ratio needs to put debuffs on the enemy. Anybody to put any sort of buff on the enemy. If there are at least 3 buffs, his follow-up attack is 100% sure to happen. Okay, otherwise he just attacks, and that sucks. Okay, so he needs to proc the follow-up attacks. And how do you do that? With status effects. Negative. It could be also DOTs, so burned, wind shear, all that good stuff, all that forgotten ancient stuff that we forgot about because we don't talk about that anymore. So all that DOT stuff could work on Doctor Ratio. Okay, but man, actually, would you go for Doctor Ratio? I wouldn't spend a dime on this guy, to be honest. We got him for free, and I guess that Mihoyo knew why we got him for free, because I mean he's not a pretty powerful 5-star. I mean he's a pretty forgotten unit, for real. He used to shine, but then he fell pretty hard. As I said many times, you can make anybody work on Star Rail, okay? But just based on usage, just based on how friendly the unit is to play. I mean, just giving debuff to the enemy is a pain in the ass, basically. You just need to have somebody else that does it. And unless we got an universal debuffer that we might get in the future, Anexa is a debuffer, to be honest. Is listed as a debuffer, okay? For example, but until we get like a pretty good 5-star, I guess, debuffer that works pretty well with Doctor Ratio, a better one, okay? I don't think that Doctor Ratio will see the light of day. Okay, this is my take, okay? Before you take me down, before you kill me, before you follow me, before you annihilate me, this is just what I think. You can make Doctor Ratio work if you have Eidolons on Doctor Ratio. He can be God, okay? So just as anybody can. But the way he plays, I mean, um, is not that appealing also, and the damage that he does is not as high. So newer units have higher multipliers. So if you really want this guy, you're gonna have to work a lot so that he can play and do a lot of damage. Okay, so back to Anexa. I'm actually curious about this guy. So um, first of all, sick, looks good. He does looks good. Um, there's a nice reason why he doesn't have his eye. I won't tell you. Spoiler. I won't tell you why. His story also, lore-wise, he's pretty good. I really like this guy. This guy's story, the lore. I liked it. And when I like it, I like it. It's good. It's good. Actually, honest, it's good. So 97 speed. It's not that high. So let's see what he does based on what this is. So this is the ultimate damage. So the ultimate, what does the ultimate do? 80% at talent level 1, and it affects the enemy with this thing called sublimation, okay, and deals damage. In this state, sublimation, targets acquire at the same time every weakness until their turn begins. The objective, the enemies with no control resistance cannot be inflicted with sublimation. Interesting. This is interesting. Interesting. Okay, so the skill 35%. So but this just inflicts that. This is just a nuke. I guess this skill is pretty hard because this is an erudition character, but this is just, there's nothing, it's just an attack that deals this sublimation. Okay, interesting. So skill inflicts 35% of the of an excess attack as wind damage to an enemy. Just one enemy, and then inflicts damage 4 more times. Okay. Each time it inflicts 35% of an excess damage as wind damage to an enemy, to a random enemy, and prioritize bouncing to the enemies that haven't been affected. Interesting. By the skill. So it's interesting, but it's such a stupid thing. Why? Couldn't you just say attacks everybody and make it a day? I mean, so no. That's I mean, it makes me laugh, man. It just makes me laugh. It's interesting. For better of, I mean, I'm not saying anything else. Okay, so when you use the ability, damage inflicted is increased by 20% for each enemy that can be attacked. What does that mean? For each enemy that can be attacked in the battlefields, which is everybody. Who wouldn't be attacked? Somebody that is like in Yu-Gi-Oh and in Magic the Gathering, somebody that is being removed from play. What's it called? Actually, I forgot the name. An exiled creature. Let me think again. Let me just. So whenever you use the ability, the damage that is inflicted this time or that time is increased by 20% for each enemy that can be attacked. I don't understand, man. Okay, so inflicts damage to whoever you want one time, and then it attacks 4 more times, which is basically a 5-hit attack, but those attacks are random, and he prioritizes whoever hasn't been attacked yet. Okay, so interesting. Okay, so talent. Anytime an Anexa hits an enemy, and it's implanted with a type of uniqueness. Look at this. random weakness for 3 turns, prioritizing the 2 types of weakness that he doesn't have actually. Okay, okay, interesting. So I guess let's see. Maybe they are listed. When an Anexa is on the field, it affects with I don't know how to translate this. When an Anexa is on the field, it affects with this new stuff to the enemy that have at least 5 types of weakness, which is, I think, it will be fairly easy to do, because with the ultimate you already inflict with a lot of this sublimation. I think it will count as a debuff, right? So plus with the skill, and every time an enemy is attacked, so as is hit actually. So I guess it will be pretty easy. I hope so, because 5 is a pretty high number, to be honest. See, it's a little bit we were talking about Dr. Ratio. Well, Dr. Ratio needs 3 debuffs to hit, and this guy basically to have this thing, this, let's call it desvelation. To have this desvelation, he needs 5. Okay, so what does this desvelation do? Anexa inflicts 80% more damage to those who have this desvelation, and after attacking with the basic attack or ability, he attacks 1 more time with the basic attack. Okay, so instead of 5 times, 6 times, maybe 1 more, total 6. Okay, this basic ability doesn't consume skill points and cannot be activated again, and this cannot be activated again. Okay, so only once, it happens only once. Okay, so if the objective is eliminated, okay, so if you get this basically additional attack, it will go to somebody else if the guy is defeated. Okay, interesting. So a pretty it feels like a better Dr. Ratio, to be honest. It does feel like that. Does feel like he's more, you know, he needs this debuffs, you know, but yeah, it feels like that. So this, okay, so this is a buff, and this is for each weakness an enemy has. Okay, this is another buff. Okay, this is another buff. What is this? Technique. So whenever use the technique, the enemies are affected by frightening. The enemies, the frightened enemies, they escape from Nexa for the next 10 seconds. When you attack those enemies and you enter the battle, it's considered as if they enter with the as if you're attacking with the weakness that the enemy has. So let's say you have Sparkle, which is quantum, and you're attacking somebody that isn't quantum, you don't get the weakness thing written when you attack it. So, well, with an Anexa, you do it regardless of the wind element that you have. Before entering combat, an Anexa implants each enemy a weakness of the same time that the attacker has for 3 turns. We will have to see about that. So, okay, so that was real hard to do. I'm curious. I'm pumped up. I wanna check. I wanna go. Let's go. So who's my team? Who's my team? Let's see. Let's check the Dark Soul tutorial. Okay, so the Herta, Pella, and Luocha. So as I was saying, one of the best.
All things are connected.
One of the best teammates for the Herta. Okay. I think it has to be written somewhere. Let's see. Okay, so this. So in combat, it's active one of the following effects based on the quantity of the erudition characters that you have in your team. Okay, so the crit damage of Anexa is increased by 140%. That's hot. With one erudition character, so we have one. At least two, the damage that everybody, the all allies, yes, everybody in your team is increased by 50%, which is a lot. So the third one is for each weakness, for each different weakness an enemy has, the damage that an X inflicts ignores 4% of defense. You can count as a total of 7 type of weaknesses, so you can get 7 times 4 defense shreds. So Anexa is I mean, to me, he's pretty good, man. And I really think that you can play him without the Herta as the Herta. When you want to go against enemy that are that have the wind weakness, go with this guy. If you have the Herta, go with the Herta. But if you don't, man, this is pretty good, man. Actually, with the Herta and Serval instead of Pella. Oh, whoa, wait. You would actually need. Actually, now it changes everything, because you would need a debuffer. So the Herta, instead of having a buffer, needs a debuffer if you want to work with the Anexa. So I guess I'm interested to see who will be the one that outputs the most damage. Oh, let's check the cone. So whenever your turn begins, the wearer recovers 10 points of energy. If the enemy has a weakness implanted by the wearer, the damage inflicted, wow, Jesus, is up 60%. When the enemy receives an attack from the wearer, his defense is reduced by 12% for 2 turns, and he cannot be stacked. Okay, so you cannot just attack him and get the defense. Oh wow, 60% damage buff. Oh my god, this is insane. So that's interesting, as I was saying, because you have to use yeah, because otherwise if you don't use a debuffer, Anexa really lags. And if you do use an amplifier instead of Pella for the Herta, I guess that the Herta would do more damage, and this guy just would act as a support, and that's it. Let's see what happens. No. Wow. Let me stack. Hey. Oh my god. forget that you saw that. So, okay, we talked extensively about this one. So you want to, I guess you want to start with the ult with this guy. You want to start ulting so that everybody has this weakness. So this guy, everybody is weakness implanted. Okay, so basically interesting. So it's an additional attack that does what we discussed before. So it would hit up to 5 times, I guess. And why is my ult back? Anyway, I need to implant some weaknesses. So this counts as a debuff also. This is the Herta's interpretation. Interesting. Maybe it does work as debuff. So why is my ult back? That's something I did not understand. Let's see the damage. 79. So the damage is not really good, but okay, another defense shred. Let's see if we can pop the Herta's ult. Let's see how much damage she does. Mm-hmm. So the this guy's a battery. This guy. This guy. So why didn't I get the follow-up attack? Maybe the follow-up attack only happens when if everybody is affected by this weakness, implanted weakness thing. I cannot implant any more weaknesses. Also, I'd like to check if this is considered a debuff. That would be pretty wild. So the Herta does, I think, a little bit less damage than if you had a hyper carry Herta team, and with good reason, I guess. With good. I'm sorry, I'm actually right now thinking about it. This is a live reaction, basically, but I think I would need to explore more about this guy, but nonetheless, we said that we would do at least a temple, and I will. Let's do a temple, and then we will conclude this video. Okay. Let's see if we can get him. I don't need any 4-star, So we didn't get him. Okay, we didn't get him. We got Den Hung. Nice, pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Love it. Okay, so Anexa. I think that we will. I do not have an Anexa, so to be honest, I cannot really. We cannot really say much. We just tested Anexa in a secure and free of, in a secure environment, so without any artifacts, at least any of my artifacts, and pre-standard teammates. But I don't know if I played them right. I think I read everything I needed to read, and it doesn't really feel like a carry, a carry unit. It does feel more like a weakness implanter and debuffer, and just by I mean, his multipliers, I guess, are higher than a 4-star erudition character. So I think that if you had the opportunity to use somebody in a setup where you need also the wind element, and if you're using the Herta, I guess that you would pick him. But I think that if it required, I don't know, somebody that had a quantum weakness, I guess that you would still pick Jade after Anexa, to be honest. Why? Because Anexa, and look at this brain moment take. Anexa needs a debuffer, and that's what I was actually thinking while playing this guy. So I was like, oh my god, yeah, but he does need a debuffer. So unless you don't want to sacrifice the healing factor and go with a buffer, so we have a buffer, a debuffer, and 2 DPS, I guess that would work better. And if in that, I guess in that scenario, yeah, I guess that the Herta would kick pretty high. Anexa would also kick pretty high, and everybody would be happy. So, but I guess so, because the Herta. Well, what can I say is that I can say that Anexa has a lot of energy. The ult goes back up pretty consistently fast. So maybe she wouldn't even need. He doesn't even need Serval, to be honest, because maybe you would want to prioritize other units. So well, mixed reaction about this one. Um, yeah, I think that he will fall more into a support category in a standard meta, and that's all I can say about it right now. So, actually, you know what? Since my videos are long by default, let's just go and do something that I never did, which is I want to try this one, man. I want to try Doctor Ratio. Not for the jades. I never try characters, man. I don't care about the jades. I don't care about those stupid 40 jades, man. That's something insulting. Um, but I just want to test the mighty power of Doctor Ratio. Okay, so this team is so good. Oh my god. Actually, wait. Let me talk. Okay, so we got Topaz and Nambi. We got Doctor Ratio. We got Robin, and we got Aventurine. Okay, let me pause this for a second. Okay, so this is what I was talking about Doctor Ratio. I mean, he needs so many good stuff going on, and with this premium team, we will see what happens. But basically, as I said, he needs a debuff. Okay, he needs people that implants debuff. So I think that Topaz does a debuff. Aventurine also does a debuff, and she doesn't, but she's best in slot for harmony for follow up attackers. Okay, so I'm pretty curious to see. Um, okay, so you always want to get the ult. Let's see. So he got this one weakness right now. So let's see if he can implant another one and actually just advance everybody forward. Okay. So let's see how many weaknesses does he have. 3 weaknesses. So Nambi counts as one. This one is. Oh. So she implants 2 weaknesses. That's huge, man. That's huge, man. So what if we were to alt? Nothing really. I mean, beneficial to Doctor Ratio. Okay, so basic, because we want to preserve skill points. Okay, so let's go. So you'll see that if I skill, he's up. This number goes to 100%, so it's 100% sure to get a follow-up attack. On this guy, no, only 60, because only one debuff, just as this guy. Okay, so 60,000 follow-up attack. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's not good. Okay, let me think. Let me see. I cannot check. Oh, if he has his light cone. Okay, so I cannot check whether he has the light cone or not. Okay, so the ultimate. When you pop the ultimate, any time up to 2 times an ally attack the target, the one that you use the ultimate to, like in this case the big guy, Doctor Ratio doesn't attack up to 2 times. So let's say after the ultimate, Topaz is gonna act, as you'll see, 26,000 damage. Okay, so Topaz attacked, I mean Nambi attacked, and since he attacked Nambi, Doctor Ratio automatically used a follow-up attack. Okay, so and it's this thing over here. Okay, when an ally of Doctor Ratio attacks an objective with this debuff implanted, Doctor Ratio does a follow-up attack up to 2 times. So we wasted 1. Okay, so now if I attack him, Doctor Ratio will act again. 50,000, 90,000, and Nambi does 37. So even though Okay, so Dr. Aventurine did actually implanted the debuff. Okay, so um, to be honest, actually, I just want to see if he had the light cone or not. I think he has to have the light cone, right? His light cone is actually good, to be honest. Crit damage is increased by 20% for each negative debuff that the objective has, the enemy has. The crit damage is increased 8%. Okay, you can stack up to 3 times. So attacking an objective with the ultimate, the wearer gets this dispute buff. The damage inflicted is up to 36%, and his follow-up attacks ignore 24% of the defense of the objective. So that Lycon contributed a lot to damage, to be honest. So let's see if Topaz has. Yes, it's all with the OG's light cone, so the best light cones available. This defense is pretty high on Aventurine. Also, this spread is pretty good. Crit rate is a little bit, you know, non-existent, but this attack is also pretty high. 86% crit rate is good, but the crit damage is not good. So this Topaz is pretty awful, a little bit awful, to be honest. Don't get mad, but and this ratio is also a little bit lacking, to be honest. But you know, the damage that Doctor Ratio can dish is not pretty high, and you will actually feel it. You will feel it. And this was a pretty good team, man. As you can see, everybody was working with Doctor Ratio. I mean, the debuff were there. Having a preservation unit like actually Aventurine that debuffs the enemy is pretty insane. I mean, it's pretty good. That's what you want. But otherwise, yeah. I mean, the bad thing is that the damage is not that good, to be honest. This is my Doctor Ratio, my insanely good, well built Doctor Ratio. I did use him a lot, and to be honest, is a skip, is a high skip. Anexa, I think I would still go for him, because if you're starting right now and you want something to start with, you can build around Anexa. I think, to be honest, you need a debuffer, and we don't have that debuffer in here, sadly. But as the showcased showed, Pella is an exceptional debuffer, and you can work with her. So for now, this is all I have. Thank you for watching. I really enjoyed doing this, and I hope you also enjoyed watching this video. For whatever reason you want to comment, say whatever you want. If you want to uh, you know, say whatever. If you want to tell me that I suck, you can't do that. I prefer you don't. But if you want to tell me that you like me, I, I would I, I'll be happy. So say anything. If you don't, that's okay. That's all right. I'll keep on making videos, and I guess tomorrow I'll I'll make another one. So thank you.